questions to ask and answer. So I have 4 different styles of questions to ask and answer while you're still in the dating stage. I came up with these questions as a woman who's already married for 9 years and wish that I could go back in time and get my mind to focus on what my goal was and who I was and where I was in as far as like just character development and maturity and what my values were at the time. If I could come to know more about who I was at that time and be able to ask and get out of, through questioning, get out of the person that I was talking to at the time, my boyfriend at the time, just to see where he was and be able to decipher and gather from that whether or not I would like to go forward. And so what's the difference? This first style is going to be more so you can get where they are between the difference between these two topics. So I have here, what's the difference between happiness and satisfaction? So if they're able to differentiate between the two clearly, then it's going to be more so out of experience, and it may be one of the first times that they are pressed with this question and have really focused their attention toward where the line is between an expression of happiness and an expression of satisfaction. And they should be different, and they should be different levels. The next one, what's the difference between your relationship between your mom, your wife, your girlfriend, your work wife, an actual friend, and an acquaintance? Now, if you haven't matured into having self-control enough to listen to someone, just to gift the other person with the blessing of your silence so that you can gain from them an awareness of where they are mentally, then you lose. So if they answer this question, let's say you're a guy watching this video and you're interviewing your partner, and they exclude work husband and work wife from the options. Like, they decide there's no atmosphere that I'm going to even allow someone to assign me to be their work spouse. And so that's a reflection of where they are. And so that would be great. Just you would be able to get that if you don't interfere and intervene in the person that you're talking to, if you don't intervene in them answering the question. Another, what's the difference between money and wealth? And also, I wanted to know, I put on this list, but I also crossed it off, but then I put it back on. I wanted, if you could ask where they are on misogyny, patriarchy, and what's the difference between being one and what that looks like in being in a relationship. The reason why I said I put it under what the difference is because it would be great and beneficial to you as the hearer, the interviewer, whichever, to ask this question and gain where that person is on how open they feel like they need to be, or that they should be in a relationship. A lot of happy couples do not share finances. They don't share their work life. They don't share their spiritual life. And they don't share their inner thoughts, their dreams and goals. And so that would be a fascinating topic of discussion between you and someone that you're dating, so that you can gather from that where they are on their perception of oneness and what it means to be a couple, and Some people may see that as we're together, but we can still do things separate. And if so, figure out where you are on that. How comfortable you are with what they see, with how they define oneness. In the other style of questioning, I have, how often do you? I really wanted to know how dirty or clean the other person may be. So if I could go back in time, I would definitely ask myself, just to get, just to derive information on how clean or dirty that person would be. So this was my first question, and I just made up other questions around it because I didn't want that to be the only question in this style of questioning. So the first one is, how often do you shower and brush your teeth? I really want to know if your teeth gonna fall out year 10. Like, let me know. Is the retainer or the braces or just the pulling of teeth, what is it called? Dentures. That's what it is. That's what, yeah. Like, how soon is that going to be in our relationship? And number 2, how often do you clean the shower, the sink, and the toilet? Is it going to be just me? Is it just going to be just you? Is that a 2-person thing? How are you bothered or not with a clean fridge, a clean stovetop? Do you actually wipe the door of your fridge? Do you think, like, leaving the bowl or the plate there when you're done eating and then walking away and entering into a new thing while the plate is still, like, not in the sink, is that okay? I don't think it's petty. It really is a big deal. Oh my God. How comfortable are you with, this is not on the list, how comfortable are you with, not pets, rodents and bugs, like on a scale from 0 to 2, but really on a scale from 1 to 0, mine would be, it's a 0 or a 0. But ask the person, are you, like, what is that, if you were to see that in your home, and try not to impress upon them how you feel, so that you can get their truth. You can get their authentic answer. How are they feeling right now about it? I know we men and women develop, like, I think the brain finishes growing at, like, developing at 25 years old. I know that we change as humans every 77 years. I think our palate changes. And people that knew you from, like, 5 years ago, I mean, if they met you today, for most of us, we would be a different person. But I'm asking you for right now. With rodents or rodents? Whew. Bugs or bugs? How comfortable are you with that in your, is it a dwelling? Is this a, are we sharing spaces? Are we roommates? How comfortable are you with bugs? My actual number 3 is, how often do you change your sheets? Number 4, oh, that was it. I was gonna say salty or sweet. I just really want to know if we're gonna have a diabetic relationship or hypertension. I was just that's a very covert way of asking about if they're gonna cut your leg off or have heart surgery. I don't know. So anyway, the next style of questioning is, what's your definition of? So I wanted to know, number 1, what's your definition of submission and respect? And number 2, what's your definition of love, sex, and lust? Number 3, what's your definition of cheating and boundary lines? Number 4, what's your definition of bedroom talk and open for discussion? This was important to me because I would share and I would be open to hearing from my girlfriends and coworkers what they thought about this, what they thought about that. And my husband was like, we just talked about that. He did not like that we were just talking about playgrounds, and now here I am having the same conversation with coworkers and girlfriends about playgrounds, when I'm okay with him feeling undermined, or that I didn't trust his, I didn't value his opinion and just close that subject, or maybe that I was sharing what he had shared and divulged to me, and now sharing it with them, and they're now getting a just coming to know about him without ever meeting him. And so I just was just like, no, that's not it. I was constantly defending myself, as opposed to just hearing from him that he doesn't like for me to bring his name or his likeness or his opinions and values and make it a part, make it a subject matter in other settings with other people that I know. And I struggled with that, and that was a reflection of me struggling with boundaries. Point blank, end of story. Number, I don't know what number this is, but what is your definition of oppression, suppression, and disregarding someone? What would that look like? And where have they experienced it, and what did they do about it, or what did they not do about it? Ooh. And what's your definition of spiritual responsibility as a spouse and a parent? Women, it is a woman who will take the kids to church, who will actually enroll the children in Bible study or any community religious based organizations, or spend her own time reading her own Bible. So if it's something that you knew from the beginning, don't trip when he let you know, I wasn't doing this before, so I'm gonna do it now. Ask him, but don't impress who you are on the questioning. Don't tell him this is what you're doing or this is what you're not doing, but more so just ask and say thank you for sharing. Ask and ask about his familial background, whoever he grew up with, what they did, and how they practice anything outside of themselves, as far as like God, or did they believe in the universe, like they were just speaking to a being, there's no name, or whichever. And just ask, but also after they ask, definitely be open to sharing, but don't let don't influence what they're saying. Otherwise, you are getting someone that is catering to what to what they think you want to hear, and that's just a deceitful person. But and don't focus so much on not trying to impress upon their answer. That's just a lack of immaturity as well on their part, if they are trying to hear what you're going to say first. But after you answer these questions, I have one more set of questions, which is a different style of questioning. But understand that if they're answering all your questions and you answer all the questions that you ask them honestly and genuinely, they may have intentions to actually be in a committed relationship with you. But to be able to catch if they're being dishonest, see where in their life they what they have said measures up. What they have said is how they actually believe, what they believe and how they behave. And one way to do that is to make a mental note, if you're able to retain such great memory. I do not have great memory, that I remember. But taking a note, I actually made a chart, and I'm gonna do that in a separate video. And I made a chart of things that I should ask right off the bat. I was asking crazy, I would ask, what's your favorite color? I would ask I didn't ask like what your horoscope was, but I definitely asked if that was something that you looked into. I could never even remember the characteristics of my own horoscope, so it wasn't something that I would ask because I wasn't able to carry on that conversation down that road. But I'm gonna talk in that video about oh, in a separate video about insecurity, because that should be in the top 5 questions that you need to ask any human being that you're trying to have a relationship with. You not asking that is ignorant. You not asking and interviewing them on this topic of ego and insecurity is such a waste of your own precious time. Do you value you? You probably don't. But once I do that video, I think that viewers will understand why it's so important, or be reminded why it's so important. All right, the last style of questioning I have, an order of operations. I really be trying to know how clean people are. So the order of operations, I would say, all right, you answer this question: getting up from the bed and getting to work. Go, give me your order of operations. I would, in that, I may get if they do any kind of prayer. They brush their teeth before they shower and then they brush their teeth. Do they what? You don't pee before you, as soon as you wake up? What? That's inhumane. What? And so you can get a lot of information by just allowing them to fill in the blanks. B, getting up from the bed and then getting to the 4th or 5th thing on your to-do list for that day. So that may be for someone who maybe not currently working, but may not be working that day. So get to know what they do with their leisure time and what they do when they are in control of their own all day. Like, what do they do? What do they don't do on a normal day? You'll be able to get a lot of information from them about their behavior and their patterns. And then to your parents, oh wow, your parents just passed away. So make sure you phase this, make sure you say this in the best and the most appropriate way possible. But okay, your parent just passed away. What would be the first, how would you react? What would be the first couple of things that you would do? Or your best friend just passed away, or one of your siblings just passed away. And I'm sure the difference there may be I'm confident that there may be a difference in each of those people passing away, that you may be able to get more information about this person, and then you too may be able to understand your relationship with your either of your parents, either of your siblings, and your best friend or best friends. And you'll also be able to share personal information to this suitor, to this person courting you, to this person wanting to be in a relationship with you. Whew, that was so good. When I came up with these questions, I was just like, I just feel like but that's to a younger me. Of course, these are just not appropriate for anyone. These are appropriate for anyone that's dating at any age. Thank you so much for watching Healing Forward. Put down some great questions that are good for people while they're in the dating stage down in the comments. Also, click the subscribe button and like and share.